money. But can you explain to the audience what you're talking about when you say, I thought I understood the Miami Heat culture? I did not.
Well, when you're outside the Miami Heat culture, you think that Pat Riley runs the team with an iron fist. And I remember playing the Heat, and you'd see everyone come off the bus, Alonzo Mourning, Eddie Jones, Tim Hardaway in suits. Well, everyone else was in tracksuits at the time, velour jumpsuits in the early 2000s. And you heard about the conditioning tests, and you heard about just a very almost like militaristic culture. But they won. And when I got here, it was way looser than I expected, but there were standards. And there's a reason why they're a top organization. They hold people to a high standard. And, I don't know what goes on in Cleveland right now. I know LeBron probably tried to take a lot of what he learned in Miami and apply it to Cleveland. But unless that is part of your fabric, it is really, really difficult to get people to buy in. And we lived it every single day. We had accountability. I mean, something as silly as we had to tuck in our shirts every day at practice. All right? We're thinking professional basketball players, what does it matter if you tuck in your shirts? But that was a big deal. And the players policed each other on, look like a player. Look like a player. If you look like a player, you're going to play like a player. And so it's a microcosm of look, we're all in this together. We're all sacrificing for one thing, and that's to win. And we were lucky because we had a lot of super veterans: Ray Allen, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron, who had made their money. With Whiteside, it's a little bit different. He's a young buck who has had a meteoric rise, on par with maybe Linsanity, who is looking at a big payday. And so the issues are a little bit complex, but he'd have to retain him.
Can you explain to us, can you give us an example of veterans policing LeBron while he was in Miami? Because it would make sense that LeBron would say to himself, I learned the lessons in Miami. I'm going to take them with me. I won here. One of the things that the Heat is going to try to argue with Whiteside is, hey, you didn't become this by yourself. Yeah. You became this with us and because of us. And maybe he buys that. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe LeBron buys it now, but it didn't appear that he bought it when he left. My guess is he thought, I'm going to take what I learned here, and I'll just bring it to Cleveland. You told us during the local hour, one guy can't go and take a culture with him, no matter how great he is. Give us an example of veterans policing LeBron in Miami.
I don't think there's an instance where we had to have an intervention with LeBron and sit him down and be like, you're acting like an idiot. What's wrong with you, man? It was more keeping him in line and not allowing him to stray. All right. Look, all the top players on other teams in the NBA. All right. You take out the Spurs, take out the Warriors. They're freaks. But the top players, the All-Stars, they take a lot of practices off. Or if they go through shoot around, they're not lacing their shoes up. All right. I don't know about their practice habits, but I know that the top players think I need to rest. I can't tax myself. I'm not going to practice. Well, there wasn't a day where LeBron came in and said, I'm taking a day off from practice. Well, you other schlubs go through the paces, go through a walkthrough. And so, because he felt like a guilt, not to Pat Riley, not to Erik Spoelstra, but to the guys who, did we love practice? No. We made the best of it. But by being there, by having our shirt tucked in, by having our shoes laced up, by working, it brings people who maybe are on the fence into the fold and don't allow them to stray. And that's culture. That's culture. And that's what I thought we did with LeBron. Not only with LeBron, but Dwayne and Chris and everybody. No one was special. No one was different.
If you weren't listening a couple of hours ago, Shane told the story of Hassan Whiteside coming into a tryout after they had won a couple of championships, and he bombed the tryout, if you don't mind, Shane.
To put it mildly. He was at training camp. Here comes in Hassan Whiteside, who, is a freak. 7'2", long, great body. And in practice, he's blocking shots. Didn't play with a whole lot of energy, so you can understand why he hadn't stuck. But at the end of practice, we're running wind sprints. And at the end of wind sprints, we're all tired. It's a tough day in training camp. Hassan lays down on the floor. And I go over and say, man, get your tail up. We just won 2 NBA championships. We're going for a three-peat. You see LeBron, you see Dwayne Wade, you see Udonis Haslem laying down on the ground. Man, get up. Get up. You think Riles is going to pay you money to be on this team, laying down like this? And at that point, I was trying to help the kid. I didn't care if he made the team or not. I thought he had talent, but I was trying to help him for his career. And, to his credit, he got up and was kind of apologetic and had a hangdog look on his face and sort of slunk out the gym. And I wrote him off. I'm like, man, he doesn't get it. And it's a shame because he is a freak and he can make a lot of money. We talked about this earlier. Where did it flip? Well, he was playing at the YMCA. He was playing beer league basketball with a bunch of guys who got off work on the factory line playing beer league basketball. And here he is dominating, I'm sure.
He must have been dominating.
Oh, my gosh. I hope. I hope.
Cloverfield.
I know, right? God, that sounds like fun to be him at one of those games.
Something must have clicked and said, look, where'd I go wrong? And, it's good to see because he's a good dude and a good kid. And he's turned it around in a big way.